Welcome to Ma's Garage. I'm Smokey.
I'm Kev.
And I'm Crick.
And this week, we are going to talk about community.
It's just got that little saltiness that you just can't achieve anywhere else. So you can value lives then at that point, right?
No matter what their decisions are that they made, we've made it an opportunity in life to end up like that.
What is one thing that you guys wish you could change about your local community, even if it's just a small thing?
Get rid of the rats.
Yeah, like human rats or like rats?
Rats.
Okay.
But the thing is, like, because there's so many people and there's so many animals and there's so much of a conglomerate that there's no real way to get rid of all the rats.
Yeah.
So that'd be my thing. Like the community is great. The area is awesome. They do a really good job cleaning up everything. In fact, if we don't cut our grass for like a week and a half straight, they give you a citation on your door. Then your grass is too long.
Interesting.
I go weeks without mowing my grass sometimes.
Must be
Can't
nice not
stand
living
mowing
on the
my
main
grass.
road.
It is.
And it's crazy because like growing up, like we lived on a main road too, but my dad never got citations for not cutting the grass. And there were times that like he just got lazy and didn't cut the grass for like a month.
It's also based on where you live, city ordinances and stuff.
Also true, yeah.
My buddy just bought a house and they don't have any mow your grass thing. You can let it go however you want. His neighbor's grass is like this tall.
Jesus. See, I don't know how you can let that go.
Well, and it's like I get what you're saying. Like for you, that makes sense. It's part of the community that's helped cut down with rats. So it's such a big problem. But I get the other side too, because it's like I own this house. Don't tell me what to do with it. Like you don't pay the bills here. Don't tell me when I have to cut my damn grass.
Maybe my tall grass is part of my landscape.
Right. Maybe that's what I like. You know.
Have you not seen some of the beautiful landscape that like tall grass can create?
Yeah.
But and I guess you look at it from other standpoints, and stuff can hide in the grass like rodents.
Right. Exactly. There's a reason. Yeah. And that's why I feel like the older you get is you understand more of those rules. Just like as like a teenager, there's so much stuff that we did because we didn't fully understand the repercussions of our actions in the community. Mm-hmm. And even that now, it's like the older you get and owning a house and having these more like you're more of a predominant figure in the community. Yeah.
You learn from your experiences.
Just to kind of
every day
and just kind of using this as an example. Like I have a light down the road from me that is no turn on red. And there are so many instances that I'm at that light that I'm just like, why the hell can't I turn on red? Like there's no one there. Like, why can't I just turn on red? Like there should be times on this. But then because in doing my delivery driving, I see accidents at that intersection every now and then. So I think to myself, if there's already accidents and it's a you can't turn on red already, they take away that turn on red, there's just going to be 5 times as many accidents.
Right. Like it takes efforts to put rules in place. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times there's a reason for why they did it. And we're just like, well, that's a disadvantage to me right now. And I'm just going to literally do this thing. And it's like,
I thought about like pulling into like drives to like cut through like parking lots and stuff, which I know that's illegal. But back when I was trimming weed and the caregiver that I was trimming the weed for, like he didn't care. He would drive through. He would almost hit people. He didn't care.
That's where I remember going to school and there was one spot, like a really bad intersection. They said, oh yeah, no, you got to have at least 2 people die before they'll put a light up there. So you can value lives then at that point, right?
Right. I got that. My life got that light made.
Little Timmy died like 12 years ago. Yeah, but He's the only
Statute of
one.
limitations have
Yeah.
worn off.
He's the only one. As soon as we get 2, then we get the light.
And his
That is
falls
the
off in a year.
Yeah, right.
His falls off.
It doesn't count anymore.
Yeah.
It's got to be 2 within X amount of years.
Yep.
Yup, it's been a year
It's
and
like
1 month.
insurance.
Looks like it restarts.
Oh my god. It is a little messed up that some communities kind of do have like restrictions that like only X amount of people can live in this community. So we're full until someone dies.
Right.
Then we got one open.
Right. And then you've got everybody fighting for that one spot.
Exactly.
And that's
Create
where it's
demand.
Like think about like the demand in like private schools where you have to like put your money for the spot.
Yeah.
that's where I think it goes into like who's making the decisions for that, because like limiting another, if it was done mathematically and you actually paid attention and it wasn't for segregation or anything else like that, and you put a limit to a community because you knew traffic wise and accident wise this makes the most sense, food wise, everything else, this makes the sense for this area, that makes sense. But if it's not, and it's because someone wants only just him and all of his buddies in over here, and like they want to kind of like seclude this place to themselves and make bigger homes, that's more sketch. So it's just who's at the head of the community. If it's
little bit,
community
even though Buddy could just want to do that in their retirement.
yeah,
They just want to have a place to themselves, a place away from authority that they can just not kill people.
move out to the hodunk nowhere. There's still many places in America where you can just go live. in the
There
middle of
are.
nowhere.
I heard the UP's population is declining. There's a lot
Really?
of land up there, yeah.
There is
I
quite
didn't,
a
how
lot
could
of
it
land up
decline? I
there.
didn't think there was much up there.
Right.
It's declining
Maybe
because
they're
not a lot of
trying to
people are
buy
moving
that
there to
wildlife.
grow it.
Yeah.
That's where it's beautiful. Like that's one of my favorite
Oh, it
parts about
is.
that though, is you can go for 10 plus miles and see nobody.
You
See no
literally
houses, no nothing. You better hope you have gas. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
you know.
See, like it wouldn't be bad to like have a cottage up in the UP, but then still live in the Lower Peninsula.
I
Like,
do it
go
like Florida.
visit.
That'd be my
Away.
Florida home. Yeah. Like I come down there for like a couple months in the summer or whatever like that. But
Right. Like go
Yeah.
visit, get out of the city, get away from the hustle and bustle, then come back.
that's where I want that for like creating. Like it'd be nice to have just some place to just go away for a few months, create for a while, and then come back and work my ass off and be the cog that I have to be, and then go
Mhm.
away for a few months, create for a while, no distractions, wake up every day doing whatever I want to do. Because it's like that rigidity of the structure that we have to live in a community because you have so much stuff that you have to pay for and this and that, keep up with. It's like
Mhm.
you
We
can't
look
focus on
at-
your individualized
We
needs.
look at our citizenship as a community that we have to uphold this status quo.
right. You can't just go walk outside naked. You know what I mean? You have to pay your
Not in
taxes.
this country,
No, not in this country.
but you can in Italy.
Yeah, but there's campgrounds you can do that. There's
Spain,
beaches you can
sorry,
do that.
Spain.
Like, you know, and we're getting that. You can now walk shirtless. I think it's all of Colorado if you're a female, which I mean they should just be allowed to anyway. If guys can,
I think New York is the
topless.
same way, which is 2021, man.
yeah, dude. If I can walk without my shirt on, like
Yeah, I
that's
guess
how I feel with like shave my
makes
armpits too.
sense.
Like if a girl, I'd never ask a girl to shave her armpits because I don't shave my armpits. Like I don't do it. Why do I expect you to? I don't. I can
Right.
wear my shirt.
What am I
Why do
doing?
expect
Licking your
you?
armpit?
Right. Exactly. Like.
it's just got that little saltiness that you just can't
Right.
achieve anywhere else.
Right. They
True.
say it locks in the pheromones. You know, that's how you find the true one.
It's a true aphrodisiac.
Yeah. Get them unique, personalized perfumes.
You feel like you're tripping on DMT.
right. Yeah, you're just huffing it, like trying to get high, just like
You're
oh,
just
you smell so good.
primal instinct just kicks in.
Right. You just go all caveman.
Ata. 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 Ata.
Yeah, I don't know. That's where it's
Oh.
like that just goes where it goes to be like treated equal in a community. It's like how am I gonna expect you to live by a rule that I don't expect of myself? Because I already hate all the rules that I have to follow. So it's like, I don't know. to get more rules added on to you because something that you didn't choose.
Right, like you start
in any
adding
sense.
rules, and how many of these rules are you already being a hypocrite on?
Right. Who made these rules?
I
Who
feel like
doesn't have
that's
to follow
kind of
these
what it
rules?
gets to,
Like,
because like as a kid, we hated following rules. But then as an adult, you try to set your own rules. So then you start realizing you're like, man, kid me would hate me for doing stuff like this.
Right.
but I think it's like you said, it's set your own rules, because there are a lot of rules.
And
that
you
don't
set
make
your own
sense.
rules out of an appreciation for what you set the rules for.
Right.
Like you set a rule that you are going to clean. You set a rule that you're going to clean your art supplies after every use. As a kid, you probably hated cleaning up after using your
I
art
still hate that. That's
supplies.
my least favorite
Same.
part.
I'm sure. But if you don't, your crap is going to break.
You
And
have
your
to buy a
crap
new
is going to
one, or,
dry
yeah.
out and it's going to ruin. And you're going to have to replace it. So either you keep shelling out the money for the new art supplies, or you just take care of the ones that you got.
And that's where I think being an adult, like, that goes hand in hand, because now it's not mom and dad who are paying for the new art supplies.
It's you.
Like, you have to come out of your pocket.
Mhm.
Whatever you screw up comes out of your pocket.
But even
Like,
back when it was mom and dad, like it should have been instilled into you. Like, we're not here to waste money. Like, I'm not just
yeah,
going to
it was,
continue.
yeah.
I'm not going to continue to buy you a football and a basketball if you're going to continue to puncture holes in them.
That's right here. Well, that sucks a lot.
Yeah.
My dad got good at that too. Oh,
I find myself saying, "Well, did you bring
Gotta
your
find some
wallet?"
duct tape. Right.
see, like
Yeah.
I wish my parents instilled like monetary value in me earlier on, like taught me more about like saving and using money, like as opposed to, I guess, like I didn't have much of like an allowance.
Same. Like, that's the thing is
Same
too.
here.
So it's like what I kind of felt the same way about my parents, but then I realized like their parents didn't do the same for them. You know what I mean?
So
like they
they
didn't have
just
a very
taught you
grasp.
what they knew.
Right. They
Yep.
did their best with what
And
they had to try to
we
figure out finances.
Are going to teach we're going to teach our kids what we know.
and our parents.
We have learned from our parents. We've also learned from other people,
right, and informed ourselves. But
because
yeah,
more
it's like,
people have been open about parenting.
that's
Before
where-
it was just kind of a mind your own business, but now it's at that point where it's like, no, your kid's acting up and he's shoplifting.
Right.
Someone can say something about that.
And that's where I think that image of money comes from, is like our family growing up. You know what I mean? Like that's where that's a really important thing to handle with your kids, because that's where shoplifter comes from. That's where all that comes from. If you don't
Mhm.
teach them the value of money, and then when you steal, that's still money coming from somebody else. And there's always a cost. There's a cost to every single thing that you do. You know what I mean? And it's just being aware that there's always a cost. Like
Mhm.
nothing's free. It's my grandpa used to tell me all the time, nothing is free.
Yeah.
And I'd always try to argue with him. I'd be like, well, what about this? And he's like, well, if you go back to
exactly.
this and this and this, then somebody paid for that. What about this?
See, and we just need to teach our kids to associate like something with receiving money. Like, you don't just receive money to receive money. You receive money for work that you did, for something that you provided.
Well, my kids do. They feed the dog, pick up the dog poop, take care of laundry,
That's
help with the
good.
dishes.
Yeah.
That's good.
Nothing in life is free.
That's
No.
good.
All I
That's
grew up.
good. I do
either
know.
grew up
I
hearing
know
that.
some
Nothing
people
in
that
life
they
is
just
freer. How does it feel to want?
free money to their children. They don't want
Well-
their kids to cry.
Yep.
That's an issue that we run into. Like, that's a part of our community, is that's like the homeless population. There's someone who sits there and asks for money. They do ask to just
Mhm.
give them money. And some people are hard up. There's a lot of like mental disabilities that plague like the homeless community, because a lot of them sadly get pushed to. But there are some
Mhm.
people like who it's either drugs or different things like that. And it's like, and you know, they sit and ask for money. And like, that's a hard debate I have with myself. Like, sometimes I give money, sometimes I don't. Like, you know, at least I'm going to say something. I'm never going to treat someone like less, you know, because like it's our community caused that. Like, no matter what their decisions are that they made, we've made it an opportunity in life to end up like that. We have
Mhm.
set up our society so that that's a possible way to live. That's our fault too. So it's like we have to handle that as a community. But I don't know if it's just by giving them money. you know.
I've thought about giving
Well-
them pop bottles and cans. At least they're working for the money, then kind of.
Right. Or there's hygiene
Especially
bags you can do too,
nowadays.
where it's just like a
Yeah.
toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant. So
Yeah,
you're
and
still giving them
necessities.
there's
needs.
a lot
yeah.
of like homeless shelters, places that you can like donate articles to.
Right. Yeah.
There's tons of ways to go around it instead of just giving them
There
money.
is.
That's honestly
And
the
I
one
mean,
thing
like,
that you
I
probably
do
don't want to
like
do money
every
first.
now and then. If I'm on 8 Mile, I will give the homeless people money, but I don't give the homeless people up in like this like area up here, because generally 7 out of 10 times they're wearing really nice clothes. So that's
Yeah.
kind of an indication. It's like, okay, you're just looking for a handout.
Right. Panhandling. There's a lot of cases of that where people are just panhandling.
There are
'cause it's very
some that are
lucrative.
there are some that are legitimate. Like I remember when I was living over in West Bloomfield, there was an old army veteran that like he had like the whole deal written on his cardboard sign. And one of my friends actually like sat down and like talked to him for like an hour or so and like talked about his experiences.
Nice. That's what I've heard from a lot of people too, is like that's the best. They just want to feel acknowledged. They don't want to feel like they're just discarded pieces of society. Like they don't need money. They just want to still feel like people acknowledge them. Like I heard like a good thing to say is just like, hey, hang in there. You got this. You know, just like people to encourage them when they're in the down lowest part of their life and people are walking by, not even making eye contact with them. You know what I mean?
Just ignoring
Like,
them because they're
right.
just, oh, another beggar.
Right. And it's like that's still part of the community. Just like, you know what I mean? It goes back to our parents. Even though our parents tried their best, you know what I mean? We lucked out with at least the work ethic and stuff that we have to keep ourselves financially stable in the situations that we are. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like their situations were different. And it's like for the flip of the coin, we could be them. So it's like, why treat them like any less?
That's why every now and then I'll give them a little bit of change. I don't like empty out my change drawer, but just a little bit of change here and there. Like just keep a nice thing moving forward.
Right. Have conversations, keep, you know.
And I do have some friends that like they donate a lot of like, she lives alone, so when she makes a lot of food and she doesn't eat as much of it herself, so she'll take like her leftovers and she'll take it to like a local homeless shelter.
Well, that's a good move. I've wanted to do something like that, but I didn't know where to take it because I feel like people would be like weirded out about people giving you free food.
A homeless shelter ain't gonna say anything.
That'd be the move because I'm a decent cook and I enjoy cooking, but I hate cooking for myself.
Oh yeah, and so
You know
so
what I
is she. I mean, she makes us food all the time.
Nice.
It is pretty cool.
That's a huge communal thing. Like that's just like there's like food is like eating is a whole communal event. You know what I mean? That's where a lot of our cultures revolve around. Is there's all this different etiquette to how you eat your food because it's communal, and to how you make it, the energy that's put into it. Though everybody puts in work in some way to get this feast going together, and it's like it's not something like I'm not cooking a 3-4 course meal to sit down and eat alone. It's just not happening.